everybody, Bob Stafford here, Trainmaster Bob, and this is my November update. In the past month I've had my first operating sessions. I've had 2 operating sessions. First one was with 2 guys and basically was more of a shakedown run. We switched out the cars from the interchanges at Buttonwood Yard and in Wilkes-Barre and built a train, classified it. Took it all the way across the length of the layout, made a set out at Richards for Maybrook and continued on down to Jersey City. And they picked up the Jersey City traffic and took it back to Wilkes-Barre. That was with Dave Falconer and Lou Davis. And then 2 weeks later we had a second section, and that was with again with Dave and Lou, and then Ray and Bob Wheeler came up. And in that operating session we ran the milk train out of Jersey City up to Schonersville and back, along with the turn job from Wilkes-Barre to Jersey City and back. And the 2 Wheeler brothers took the Schonersville turn out of Wilkes-Barre and switched out the town of Schonersville and returned back to Wilkes-Barre. So that was our 2 op sessions, shakedown, even though we don't have the whole layout completed, don't even have Richards Yard in yet. It is operational, basing things out of Wilkes-Barre. And the other things I did this month is I had to rework part of the N-scale layout again. Laddrick brought his Union Pacific big boy over, and we found that the stack on the UP big boy was hitting where the N-scale goes underneath the HO scale there in the helix area. So we had to lower the N-scale row bed just a little bit to clear the big boy stack. And the lead truck on the big boy wanted to derail in 2 places, so I had to rework the rail in those 2 places until that big boy was happy. And now the big boy will just go around and around and around, and happy as can be, pulling the Union Pacific excursion train that Laddrick has. I also started working a little bit down here. As you can see there, I've got the distant mountain range painted in onto the backdrop, and everything's taped up. I'm going to start putting a sculpting mold onto the styrofoam here and begin to get some scenery down on the lower level. And I went to Oly-Ops this year, which is a semi-annual operating session, and at Oly-Ops I got to operate on Brian Ferris's HO scale Northern Pacific based layout that's based on operations out of Centralia, Washington area. Well, I started on the backdrop down here just painting in the background mountain range. Actually, it's required 2 coats of paint. The first one I just brushed on with a 1.5 inch flat brush, the area I wanted to cover. And then after that dried, come back with a 1/2 inch round brush and basically stippled it into the over top of the first layer of green. Basically, you just take the brush, put a little bit of green on the tips of it, and just keep stabbing it into the area and filling it in that way. That seems to give a little variation in color and texture. And next, I'm going to be putting sculpting mold down over top of the styrofoam, and then some basic ground cover and trees over top of that, just to make this place look a little bit more presentable. Here in Schonersville, I made mock-ups of the two buildings be part of my Acme Markets Distribution Center. What I've done is I made photocopies of the side walls, and over here, this is from the Walters Front Street Warehouse kit. I extend the walls to make it longer. And the other thing I've found out now too is I'm going to have to narrow this. So I'm going to take this strip of windows out here, narrow that, and that'll allow me to put a platform in the front of the building there. And that'll be for receiving dry goods in box cars and in insulated box cars. Doug Nyhauser had purchased the Walters Champion Meat Packing Company, and he purchased it only to get the stock pins out of it. So I bought the rest of the kit off of him, and this is going to become the second part of this part of the Acme complex. And the idea is dry goods storage and a repacking area. So this track here, which basically holds one car, be able to spot in cars coming in with paper products for the repackaging of things that have been received in bulk. And the other part of Acme will be, so you'll probably recognize this building plot I made for the old layout. So I'm just going to build new sides, put it in here on an angle. Got to rework this spur track, and this will be the third building in the Acme complex. So Lou and Dave helped me, and we raised the valance. I had the 12-inch deep valance drop down 8 inches below the 1x4 frame, and Dave's over 6 foot, and he kept whacking his head. Like you can see this right here. That's where Dave whacked his head really good. So we decided we're going to raise the valance. So we raised the valance, and that means now I got to take the rest of these lights that are hanging down below the frame, and I got to move them up on top. Back here over Schonersville, I've already moved the 2 lights that were there, and it's working out pretty good. So the other thing you can see is that I've painted the valance up on the top, and then I'm painting fascia down here on the bottom. So things are slowly coming together. And I even got the fascia up this side here, all painted also. I attended Oly-Ops this year. Oly-Ops is held in the Olympia area, and it's one of the premier operating events here for us local modelers. And I operated on 2 layouts. It's a one-day event. Brian Harris's Northern Pacific theme freelanced layout in the morning, and Greg Wright's a Consolidated Republican Mining Company in the afternoon. Brian's railroad is a freelance Northern Pacific themed railroad based on a line running from Centralia, Washington connection with the NP main line out into the Kitsap County on the Olympic Peninsula. And Greg Wright's railroad, his is the Consolidated Republic Mining Company. Greg's railroad is built in 1/32 scale. The buildings are huge, and it uses HO track HO mechanisms, HO wheels, trucks, and it's quite a railroad just because of the size of the trains and the kind of detailing that Greg's been able to put into it. So this is everything this month, folks. I hope you enjoyed it, and remember to give me a like and subscribe to the channel. Until next video, so long, and remember, model railroading, we got the best hobby in the world. There's just so many things you can do in it. So let's get out there, let's build something, and let's run some trains and have some fun. Bye.